James McAvoy, acts as Wesley in this movie. He is an office worker whose life has taken a downturn, and he contemplates ending it all after his father was murdered. He meets Angelina Jolie, who recruits him into a secret society of assassins. Together with Morgan Freeman, they teach Wesley to tap into dormant powers. Although this was nice, there are many things sketchy and suspicious that he must now find out in this movie, Wanted. Watch till the end, and please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this. The movie starts with Wesley Gibson's coworkers singing a happy birthday song to their overbearing boss, Janice. Wesley, feeling indifferent about everything, worries about why his dad left him and his mom when he was just a week old. Meanwhile, a man named Mr. X arrives at a building, where he meets a woman named Pooja. He shows her a unique bullet, asking for help tracing it because it's from his competitor. Pooja checks it and finds it clean, but moments later, she's shot in the head by assassins posing as construction workers in another high-rise building. Mr. X pursues them, leaping out of the building towards theirs, where he eliminates them all. However, it turns out to be a decoy because he's killed next by a man who took the shot from a distance with a unique bullet from a sniper. In another part of the story, Wesley's girlfriend is cheating on him with his best friend and co-worker, Barry. Kathy, Wesley's girlfriend, complains about the noise of the train, disturbing her sleep, and asks when they're going to move out. Wesley tells her he likes it there, ending the conversation, which angers her, but Wesley doesn't seem to care. Later, Janice comes to Wesley's desk to criticize him about his poor job performance. Unaware that Wesley was having a panic attack, Janice keeps talking. As she leaves, Wesley takes his panic attack medication. On his way home, he sees strange words while trying to use the ATM and is unable to withdraw money due to insufficient funds. Unbeknownst to him, he was being watched. He heads to the supermarket to buy supplies and notices a man watching him, but he disappears. As Wesley turns to the checkout to pay, an unknown woman named Fox tells him that his father had recently been killed by an assassin named Cross, who happens to be the one Wesley had seen earlier, and who was planning to kill Wesley too. Just then, a shootout begins between Cross and Fox in the supermarket. Wesley tries to run away to avoid getting caught in the crossfire, and though he manages to escape, Fox collects him with her car. Cross chases after them after hijacking a bus, leading to shots being exchanged as they navigate the busy roads. Fox perfectly flips her car over a police barricade, sealing their escape, but Wesley is knocked unconscious by the force of their landing. The police find the bus Cross was driving empty when it stops in front of them. Wesley wakes up at an unfamiliar place. He sees Fox with some men he doesn't know, which only scares him more as he desperately tries to find an exit. The group's leader, Mr. Sloan, tells Fox that he thought Wesley was taller. Wesley tries to talk to Sloan to let him go, but Sloan ignores Wesley's pleas and forces him at gunpoint to shoot the wings off of several flies. Wesley tells him he can't see the flies, and he starts panicking as he points his gun at them and starts shooting. In his panic, he goes to take his medication when Sloan hands him the flies, which are wingless but still alive, much to Wesley's shock, who thinks it's impossible. Sloan throws out Wesley's medication in the trash, then explains that Wesley's panic attacks are actually a rare ability that only a few people in the world possess, which he and his father happen to have. This ability allows him to produce massive amounts of adrenaline, granting him superhuman speed. Wesley's father and Cross were members of the Fraternity, a society of assassins that maintains balance in the world. Sloan wants Wesley to help kill Cross, who had killed his father. He tells Wesley that all of his father's assets have been transferred to him so he can join them instead of going back to his troubled life. Wesley refuses to be part of them, still possessing the gun. He points it at them to let him go, which they do, so he runs out of the place. He wakes up the next day thinking it was all a dream until the gun falls out of his jacket. He confirms that his bank account now contains $3.6 million and filled with new confidence, he insults his overbearing boss in front of the whole office, humiliating her. Then he hits Barry in the face with his keyboard on his way out. He finds a newspaper that shows his picture declaring that he is wanted together with Fox. Fox picks him up, and they head to the Fraternity headquarters, which is a textile mill. This confuses Wesley, who asks Sloan several questions to know if they are assassins, saying he couldn't go back to his life. Sloan hands Wesley to Fox to oversee his training under the Fraternity's cruel tutelage. He is asked by Fox why he came there, and for every unsatisfactory answer, he gets punched within an inch of his life by an assassin named the Repairman. The butcher trains him on working with knives, then he is kept inside a tub where he is covered with frozen water to aid his body in repairing its injuries. Earl Spellman, known as the gunsmith, is tasked with training Wesley on guns. He is told to shoot a mark which has a dead cow hanging in front of it by curving the bullets around it. He thinks it's impossible, but Sloan shows that it's not by shooting the mark. Fox pushes him on a moving train so they can train on running on a moving train. Fox ducks right on time, but Wesley doesn't, so he is knocked out when the train passes through a tunnel before he can duck down. He wakes up in another ice bath. One of the Fraternity's assassins was killed by Cross. Earl tells Sloan that Cross was taking them out one after the other, so Sloan tells him that the only person who can stop Cross is Wesley. Fox takes Wesley to the mill to train him on speed. She tasks him to remove a fast-moving shuttle as fast as possible. He tries it only to get wounded, which frustrates him, making him walk away from her and the session. He sees Sloan on his way out and tells him that he is ready now, but Sloan doesn't think he is until Fox says so. Wesley is having an ice bath when he is joined by the exterminator, who fixes a bomb on a rat, which explodes at the safe distance he had kept it. Wesley talks ill of the Fraternity, not paying attention to the sign the exterminator was giving him until Fox comes out of a tub a few feet from Wesley. She tells him to go to the repairman for his training. When he gets there, Fox asks him again why he was there, but he gives flippant answers which get him punched multiple times until he tells her that he came because he doesn't know who he is, which seems to cease the beatings. Sloan takes him to his room where he tells him that his dad had previously occupied the room. He tells him of how Cross went rogue and killed his father, who was a more powerful assassin than him. Sloan tells him that everything in the room belonged to his father, so now they are all his. Over time, Wesley trains and perfects his training, then he is given all information about Cross to aid in killing him. He read that Cross never missed a kill, but Wesley was the only exception. He competes with Fox on a moving train, which he does well with. Wesley is yet to shoot the mark with the cow hanging in front, so Fox stands in front of the dead animal so he can make his mark, which he finds insane, but he takes the shot missing her and scoring the mark. Sloan is pleased with him, so he takes him to a room which he calls the Loom of Fate. He tells Wesley of how 1,000 years ago a group of weavers had discovered the code which when deciphered supplies coded names of targets through deliberate imperfections in the fabrics, which Sloan is now responsible for interpreting. He interprets a target's name which he gives to Wesley to assassinate. Fox accompanies Wesley to make the kill, but he is unable to explain to Fox that he doesn't know the reason why he was putting an end to the man's life. Fox tells him of how her judge father was burned alive in front of her by a demented assassin whose name had come up before he had killed her father, but he wasn't taken care of. Her words seem to ease him into trying the assassination again, thereby successfully killing his target. Sloan gives him another name, which he thinks is Cross, but he tells him that he won't be going after Cross yet. With Fox's help, Wesley kills his target by flipping over the target's limo and shooting him from the roof of the limo. Wesley, accompanied by Fox, goes to his apartment to get the gun Sloan had given him, which belonged to his father. The door is opened by Barry, who Wesley punches to the ground. Kathy asks him where he had been for weeks, but he ignores her, so she starts comparing him to Barry, which Fox, who is still outside, listens to. She kisses Wesley right in front of Kathy, effectively shutting her up, then they leave. Outside, Wesley sees Cross from across the street, so he goes after him, chasing him into an uncompleted building. Wesley mistakenly delivers a fatal shot on the exterminator, and he gets shot by Cross as well. He wakes up in the ice bathtub to see Fox and the repairman trying to resuscitate the exterminator, but he ends up dying. Wesley removes the bullet which Cross had shot him, which happens to have a trace. He shares this with Sloan and Fox, telling them that he needs to go find the person who made the bullet, who currently resides in the city where the fraternity first began. He insists on going alone, which Sloan allows, but as he leaves to get prepared, Sloan gives his name to Fox as a target too. On getting there, he finds the man Pekwerski, who on seeing Wesley runs away, and Wesley gives chase. Pekwerski points his gun at his head, asking him what he was doing there. Fox points her gun at Pekwerski's head, telling him to lower his gun, which he does. Wesley looks at her in disappointment for her appearance. Wesley shows him the bullet, asking for the whereabouts of Cross. Pekwerski agrees that he made it, but he isn't responsible for what anyone uses it for. His response doesn't sit well with Wesley, so he warns him to tell him where Cross is. Pekwerski proposes arranging a meet. He takes them to a train station where they hide inside a locker, and while waiting, Wesley asks Fox if she ever thought of having a normal life. She replies that she doesn't. They see Pekwerski running away, so they chase after him, and while running, Wesley feels an energy coming from a train, so he enters the train. Fox notices that Wesley wasn't behind her but was inside the already moving train, so she continues chasing Pekwerski, whom she loses, then she hijacks a car which she uses to follow the train. Wesley faces Cross alone on the train. They shoot at each other, but the bullets keep colliding together. Fox drives the car into the train, and when the emergency brake is applied, it causes the train to derail. While Cross saves Wesley from falling with some parts of the train that had fallen, Wesley shoots him. Then the remaining part of the train containing them falls, getting wedged between some rocks. Cross reveals that all Wesley had been told were all lies, that he is Wesley's real father, before he dies. Wesley asks Fox about what Cross had said, and she confirms it, telling Wesley that he was recruited because he was the only person Cross would not kill. She raises her gun to shoot him, so he shoots at the train's glass window, which causes him to free fall into a river with Cross. He wakes up in an ice bath in an unfamiliar apartment, so he goes to the window only to realize that it's facing his former apartment window. Peckwerski, who is present in the apartment, tells him that his father had told him to bring him there. Peckwerski explains that Sloan started manufacturing targets for profit after his name appeared in the loom, and Cross had discovered the truth, so Sloan turned on him. He turned the others against him, so Cross had to turn rogue because Sloan was secretly keeping tabs on Wesley. Wesley asks him why his father had tried to kill him then. Peckwerski tells him that he was just trying to separate him from Sloan and his people. Wesley starts recalling all that had happened in a different perspective. He tells Wesley that his father wanted him to have a better and peaceful life away from the fraternity. He gives Wesley a plane ticket to leave there before he leaves. Wesley stumbles on a hidden room in the apartment where his father has his plan for the building housing the textile mill and his guns. He decides to finish what his father started. Wesley decides to go after the fraternity. He lures large rats into a waste truck which he attaches explosives to, then he attacks the mill, freeing the explosive rats to run in every corner of the building causing an explosion. Sloan gives the order to kill him. He enters the building killing fraternity assassins in a shootout, and he gets shot in the shoulder. Wesley goes in search of Sloan, and reaches his office where Fox and the rest of the assassins surround him. Wesley tells everyone about Sloan's deception and his father discovering that Sloan had appeared in the loom, but he decided to make his own list to make profits. Fox asks Sloan if what Wesley was saying is the truth, so Sloan admits his name had appeared in the loom alongside the names of those present, while handing them papers with their names. He tells them that he had acted to protect them. He then gives the members a choice to kill themselves honoring the code or kill Wesley. Earl is the first to make a decision, choosing to kill Wesley, so Fox curves a bullet around the room, choosing to follow the code and kill everyone, including herself, throwing her gun towards Wesley so he can go after Sloan. He goes after Sloan, but he has escaped in the mayhem. Wesley goes to the ATM to check his account, but he finds that he's now penniless again due to his bank account being wiped out by Sloan. Meanwhile, Sloan goes to his place of work thinking Wesley had returned to his desk job. He arrives to kill him but is shocked when the person turns around not to be Wesley but a decoy. Wesley kills Sloan with a sniper rifle from Cross' apartment miles away as he looks at the camera and says the famous line, "What the fuck have you done lately?" If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. I would also appreciate a comment because it helps like you can't even imagine. It's a new channel and every bit of support counts.